So we are now joined by the Kean field hockey team and Coach LaFronz. How are you?
Good, thanks.
You didn't come alone either. You brought along some of your players. You brought Mia Hernandez, Jakara Jackson, Jenna Flemings, Lia DiPiazza, and Jordan Thompson. How are all of you doing?
Doing great. Thank you.
Doing good.
Thank you.
Pretty good.
So I'm going to start with Coach. With this group specifically, you saw them go from 9-10 in 2018, and you were playing in the NCAA tournament in every other year, obviously, other than the COVID season. What was the switch that flipped for this team to become such a powerhouse in the NJAC?
Well, I've been at Kean University for 12 years, so I don't think it was a switch. I think we've been improving every year. We've gotten stronger players year after year as we started to have some success. And the first year we ever made the NCAA tournament was in 2017, and we actually made it to the Elite Eight in the NCAA tournament, which was amazing. In 2018, we had a lot of veterans and seniors that graduated, and we still had that same tough nationally ranked opponents. And I think we had a little bit of a setback in 2018. And since then, we've been able to sustain this level. In 2019, we again made the NCAA tournament. We again made the Elite Eight. In 2020, with the COVID, we were 5-0 in the spring season, and we were looking to go to the playoffs when we had the COVID and our season was canceled. So coming into 2021, we had a lot of experience. We'd worked really hard during COVID. We trained hard. The girls did the right things. So it was exciting to see us have, another tremendous season. And that was our third NCAA tournament berth.
You spoke a little bit about the COVID season, and for Jakara and Mia, we had spoken previously about what it was like playing during that COVID season. But can you describe what the transition was like from that season into this fall season?
I thought the transition was honestly easy in a sense to I feel like in the spring we were able to focus more on learning each other's play style and work on the drills we need to improve on work on skill we need to improve on. So we use the drills and stuff like that. So I think coming into the fall, this preseason was the smoothest one I've been in. So I feel like we were able to focus more on hockey play. So it was a great transition.
Yeah, I'd have to completely agree with Jakara. I was a little nervous that it was going to be a little more of a difficult transition, but it ended up being really easy because of having that year prior with the COVID and wanting to get back out there. So everyone's really eager and motivated to do that. So I definitely think it was an easy transition, and it just kind of came naturally. I missed preseason so much. Having this preseason, it was fun, and everyone dreads preseason, but it was definitely a good one. We got to learn everything about one another. The new girls came in, we got them adjusted. It was really fun to do.
One of those new girls in particular was Jordan Thompson. She came from a Division I program at Hofstra. So for Jordan, what was that like transitioning from a Division I program to Kean, and not just from Hofstra to Kean, but from Kentucky to New Jersey / New York?
I don't think there was a big difference between where I was in Kentucky to where I was in New York and New Jersey. The biggest difference I think is the level of play. You get a lot of field hockey up in the Northeast. We have 3 club teams in Kentucky, and they're all central in Louisville, so you don't get a lot of field hockey anywhere, big field hockey really down there. So that's one of the reasons I kind of moved up into the Northeast to play, because I knew I was going to get a lot of good competition in the Northeast to play field hockey. So that was a plus. The difference I think between my time at Hofstra versus my time here, I would say that the pace of the game I think was a lot quicker, just because of the surface that you played with at D1. It was all Astro. So that was one thing I had to get used to. Was not used to playing on field turf since high school. So that was a big challenge for me, just having to actually get down a lot lower when I play, and to be more patient, because my body would try to move faster than the ball would at times, and then I would lose it and look dumb on the field. So I think that's like one of the biggest challenges of like going from Hofstra to Kean.
To start the season, you went on an incredible scoring run, the team as a whole. You outscored your non-NJAC opponents 52-12 throughout the month of September. For Jordan, again, what were some of the keys to that offensive outburst?
I would have to give a lot of that credit to like the team that I have behind me. Obviously, that I couldn't do anything on the field without everyone else on my team. I think that what made the offense so successful this year is that we're all like goal hungry. We all really like wanted to score and we wanted to win and we wanted to do the best that we could do. And so when we got scoring opportunities and rebound opportunities, we made it happen. We weren't hesitant on scoring and we were giving it our all. And we were just, wanting to be the best and striving for that. And I think that's what, got us up there.
And a similar question for Jenna. Again, 12 goals as opposed to 52. That's a 40-point differential. What were some of the keys to the defensive success early on? Because you were named NJAC Defensive Player of the Week twice throughout September.
So kind of similar to Jordan, I would say that the key to defense and our success early on, and I believe throughout the entire season, was that our team was just able to play together as a unit. Like the whole time we just stuck together. And I think whether it was on defensive corners or even just defending in the backfield, everyone was just able to contribute in like great ways and stay really disciplined. Coach always talks about having composure on the field. And I think when it came to our defense, that was one thing we did best. I definitely appreciate the defense I had by my side throughout the entire season. And I definitely couldn't have gained the success that I had without them. So I think that was definitely a key part.
For the last two seasons, prior to this season, you weren't the full-time starter. You were behind Belly Reynoso, who was NJAC goalkeeper of the year back in 2019. And you became the full-time starter this year. What changed from 2019 and even the COVID season to this season where you became the full-time starter?
So I hats off to Belly. She was great competition, and I think she really pushed me to be a better player, and so I appreciate her this season. I think what changed the most was my time this past summer. I really took all that time to get better at my game and all the way around, whether it's from like a physical standpoint or even mental. I had set a lot of goals for myself at the end of my sophomore season and knew that I wasn't going to stop until I achieved what I've been looking for. Then I'd say in the beginning of the season that I just think it really like showed that I was given the opportunity to show what I'd worked for. And with the support of my teammates and coaches, I definitely gained a lot more confidence in the play on the field and who I was as a team player. I'd say winning NJAC Goalkeeper of the Year was really an awesome accomplishment. And I'm very grateful to have received the award. But if I had to stress one thing, it would be that like hard work really does pay off. And if you have like a great support system behind you, like I did, it's even better.
Absolutely. And you didn't mention my name, but you did mention the defense and staying on the defensive side. For Mia, Kean allowed the fewest amount of goals per game this season while playing the most amount of total minutes. So what were some of the secrets to Kean having such a potent defense?
I think the biggest thing within our defense is that we trusted each other on the field. We knew that if the ball got through one of us, there was always going to be someone there to like support us. There'd be times there'd be a big run coming up and I'd have to step in. Without like having to look back, I knew there was one of my defenders, even our midfielders would get back and be there to support. And just knowing that like everyone wanted to do their job, wanted to contribute, and like wanted to be on that field definitely helped. And like there was a lot of communication. We got to learn playing with one another. We knew our style of play, and just I think that was the biggest secret, is just like having that trust in one another. And like if there was any kind of thing that we need to address, like we were able to talk to each other, figure it out, and kind of just work together and become better. And I think that's like what helped us the most, I would say.
Moving on to the offensive side of the ball, for Lia, you tied for the NJAC lead in assists with 15 on the season. What led to your success in setting up your teammates?
Well, it's interesting because getting goals and assists, it's kind of a team effort. So I'm really fortunate to have teammates like ahead of me, like our forwards that can score. and that are goal hungry, like Jordan said before. But I think what led to the success is that we're all always thinking a step ahead. And that's something that coach really stresses, is that like before you even get the ball, you need to know what you're going to do with it when you get it. And that kind of keeps us on the same page. So before I even get the ball, I'm already aware of like where my options are. And like I can trust that my teammates will be ready to execute when they get the ball too.
So I'm going to start with Coach on this one, and then anyone can chime in and answer. But the team broke the consecutive wins record this season. Coach said it, you went 5-0 last season, and coming into this year, you went on to win 13 more and placing the record at 18. How important was the streak?
I think it's always good to have goals, and anytime you can break records, I think it's exciting, and I think it pushes us to keep looking forward. Coming in, one of the reasons for this success is because we worked so hard in the spring. We trained 5 days a week while other people weren't even training during COVID. We were out in the freezing cold in January, training at night, and those girls maintained that fitness level and play throughout the summer. So coming in, I think we had something to prove, not getting to go to playoffs. And I think the fact that we were trained so hard in the spring propelled us into the season. Going 13-0 to start the season, we played 4 top 10 nationally ranked teams in those first few weeks. So I just think it's amazing what we've accomplished, and to win 18, but not just to win 18, with one of the toughest schedules in the country. And I think that's really what made us a nationally ranked program. And, it's hard game in and game in when people are coming after you, but it's a credit to the girls how hard they worked and that they came in fit and they were ready to go. And we went after it. We put 2 back-to-back nationally ranked teams to open up with on the road. And we followed it up the following weekend on AstroTurf up at Vassar on a surface we don't play with another top ranked team. And then came back on a Sunday and beat Lynchburg 4-1 at home. So, those are just amazing accomplishments, and it's more than stats. But I do think, we always look at records, we always look at goals, but at the end of the day, we're looking at team. And, that's why the team's successful, because they have each other's back and they work hard.
Speaking for the seniors and the juniors on the team, it's pretty awesome that we got to break like our own record. And since I've been here my freshman year, we've actually broken this record 4 times in 2016, 2017, 2019, and then this year. So it's like really cool to see firsthand like how much this program has like built and grown ever since I've gotten here in 2016.
That was actually going to be my next question. For Lia, you've seen the program grow throughout your time here. What have you seen throughout every single year?
I think every year though, I've been here, we've had a really strong like senior leadership. And especially my freshman year, we only had 1 senior, but she was definitely a very big leader. And not only was she a leader, she like taught all of us how to like lift each other up. And that just kind of was kind of like a theme, like going through all the years here was like, we lift each other up and like, that's how we become better as a team. So I think just like having very strong leaders is definitely something I've seen throughout my years here.
You also fought back from injuries yourself. In 2018, you missed the entire season, but of course you came back. What was that progression like from your injury into playing in the next 3 seasons?
It was definitely tough, but I really believe that the tough times make you tougher. I feel like I got a whole like mentality makeover, and that something that really stood out to me was that I can't waste any opportunities. And I try and like put that on the girls too, is that like no opportunity can go to waste, because you really just have no idea when it's going to be taken away from you. Because that whole injury would just happen so quick. And then it's like all of a sudden I can't play, I can't run. But it was definitely a cool experience to see the game from a different perspective, from being like on the sideline and like doing some stats for the girls and like almost from a coaching perspective. So I think despite not playing, I actually learned so much during that season. And that really changed me, I think, for the better. And going into the next 3 seasons after that, I really don't think I'd be the player that I am today without experiencing that.
And now for the fun questions that I know you're all looking forward to. We're going to go into the first round NJAC game against TCNJ. So we're going to start with Mia. The first overtime, they were in position to score. You tried to take the ball away, but you're called for a penalty. what's going through your mind at that specific moment?
Oh God. Okay. My first instinct, my heart dropped to my stomach. I was like, oh my God, this cannot be happening. One, because it was like not the best call, I would say. It definitely should have been a call against me, but I feel like to have it been a stroke in OT in that crucial moment, like very questionable, but that happened. I had so many different thoughts going through my head. I was kind of just like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. Of all the times this could have happened, like, why right now? Why this game? Like, oh my God. I was like, I'm never touching this field again. Like, if this goes bad, like, this is it for me. Like, just anything that you could think of when, like, the game, the championship is on the line, your postseason is, like, right there. Like, it's everything you've worked for. It's kind of just, like, sitting there right in front of you. But, like, at the same time, I was like, Jenna's an awesome goalie. If there's anything she's good at, it's the 1v1s, it's the strokes. Like, that is where she just shines. Like, perfect example, the game against Stockton, we went into 1v1, she shined. So I was like, Jenna got this. I sat all, like, I literally squatted down because I couldn't even stand at that point watching. I was like, Jenna got this. Jenna got this. Leah's like, it's okay. Jenna has this. Like, it's good. Like, she's got this. She got this. The girl completely missed the cage. And all everyone has ever said is, ball don't lie. And I'm like, I don't know, like, it was either she was gonna go home crying or I was gonna go home crying. It was a very, like, I've never been so anxious in that moment. Like, it was a lot of emotions. Even, like, talking about it right now still, like, gets me like, oh my God, like, that was really, like, crazy to think about and, like, to watch happen. So I don't know, a lot of emotions, a lot of thoughts.
So exactly what you were saying is exactly what we were feeling in the booth too. We're supposed to be calling the game, but we got silent and we're like, oh God, like so now for Jenna, you stepped up big on that last penalty shot. And like Mia said, she completely airmailed it. But, you know, at that point, did you feel like the team was going to win?
So I think I can speak for everybody, but a game like that against TCNJ, I think is one we'll never forget for the rest of our lives. At least I know I won't. Being put in that crazy situation was definitely, especially being a penalty stroke, like Mia said, I think it would be nerve-wracking for many people. But I can honestly say that I never once for a second in that game had any doubt on not winning that game. I said it to many of my teammates even after the fact. I said I had such confidence in not only myself, but my entire team's ability to just be able to pull out that win. And we were able to do, like, just that. But I think, like Mia said, like, in a situation like that, it's a very crazy call to be made. And for us to stay, like we talked about earlier, like, composed, I think that was really big for us. And we stayed true to who we were in the game that we played.
You did go on to win, of course. Jakara, you had the opportunity to end the game, and you did off of an assist from your teammate Megan Kean. And you're not one to celebrate, but you did celebrate on that goal. What did you see on that play to get, you know, such a perfect angle at it?
Honestly, I don't really remember that game much because I was kind of like out of it, like in a good way. Like, I was just in the zone. But I just remember thinking, like, well, I see Megan coming. I was like, I don't know where this ball is gonna go, but I'm gonna try to be ready if it comes to me. Cause I feel like this year we really focused on. I feel like in the past, like, we've always known where to be per se, but we weren't necessarily always ready. So, like, this year, we were big on, like, being ready. So I was like, I'll make sure my stick is down and hopefully I can receive it and, like, do something with it. And just I was able to score. So I was just thankful for that.
For Coach, that was your 200th win of your career at Kean. How special was it to get your 200th win in such an intense type environment?
I think it's kind of a funny story. We thought 2 games before that was going to be the 200th win. So we were all excited, and then they're like, no, it's only 198. So by the time we got to the TCNJ game, we weren't even thinking about the 200th win. I was just thinking about the team, and I actually didn't even think about it after till the girls came over and then they had the balloons. But I was just thinking about, let's get this game. We've only won once against TCNJ. I think we're 1-59 against them before this year, and we beat them twice this year to get our 3rd time against them. So it's only our 2nd NJAC finals by beating them. But to be able to beat a quality team, a nationally ranked team at home in a playoff situation, that's what was more important, and that was what was exciting. So when I look back and I think, wow, that's even makes it more memorable that it was on a great game against a great opponent to get the 200. So I think that was exciting.
Absolutely. And, following the season, Lia and Jakara, you were both named to the National Field Hockey Coaches Association Division III senior team. Although the games weren't played, what does that honor mean to you?
For me, at least, I remember watching my teammates play in the senior game my sophomore and junior year, and I thought it was the coolest thing. Especially my sophomore year, I think they played in Kentucky, which was awesome. And my junior year, I went to the game. It was out in Pennsylvania at Spooky Nook, and I thought it was the coolest experience, just being there. So being considered one of the best senior players in the country and being able to be recognized like that is a really crazy honor and kind of a dream come true.
For me, it actually means a lot because as a field hockey player, I've definitely come a long way. I didn't really start playing field hockey till my freshman year of high school, and I didn't start taking it seriously till sophomore year. So if you were to tell me then I would be a college field hockey player and actually being successful at it, I'd be yeah, right. So it's just exciting to see that I've come a long way and hard work does pay off, and yeah. So
yeah, it's unfortunate too that they didn't have the games. I've coached at the games the last several years. We've only had 5 players in the history of the program be selected to be in the senior games. So to have 2 in 1 year and 2 seniors that definitely were outstanding players for us, and to get that accolade, even though we didn't physically have the games, it was still exciting to get our 6th and 7th player in that group. So it was a great accomplishment for them.
Some more awards handed out at the end of the season for Lia, Mia, Jenna, and Jordan. You're all named to the NFHCA All-Region team and the NJAC All-Conference team. So what does it mean to all of you that, your accomplishments were honored in that way?
For me, it definitely meant a lot. Oh God, I might get a little emotional. Okay, no, I'm okay. It definitely meant a lot because everyone knows how much hard work we've all put in. So being recognized on a conference level to then a regional level, it's definitely something that not a lot of people get to experience. Having that award is definitely it means a lot. It means everything to me. So yeah, that's really all I have to say. It's just from where I started to where I am now, like Jakara said, seeing your progression as an athlete, as a field hockey player, and knowing where you are now and being recognized for that is definitely really something special.
I can go next. For the one season that I was here, I'm just glad that I could really give my all and elevate the team as much as I could. I think all the awards and stuff that were given out this year or season, they aren't just for the person that got the award, it's for the team that also helped. Again, you can't do anything unless your team's behind you in any way anyways. So I'm just glad that I took this short time that I had as a player at Kean and just used it to the best of my ability to help gain recognition for how awesome this team and how competitive and ruthless the Kean field hockey team can be on the field.
Yeah, kind of going off with what Jordan said, I always like to say that individual honors are just as much team honors. So it really speaks a lot to the level that our team is at, and having 4 players recognized, that's a lot. Usually teams would only get 1 or 2, and we have 4 not only recognized on the conference level, but at the regional level is really something special.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with what they've all said. I think no award is individually gained ever. There's always a whole team behind it. But I'm just super happy to have been able to share these accomplishments with these players. And I'm really proud to be honored alongside of them because they've stepped up so big for me in a leadership role this year. I think everyone worked really hard for it in preseason, regular season, postseason, and it paid off. And for it to be not only conference, like they said, but a national, all region honor is definitely something that we should all be very proud of and we deserve.
So sticking with you, Jenna, of everyone in this conversation, you are the only player that will be returning next season. So what did you learn from all of them during their time here, and what can we expect from Kean field hockey moving forward?
I think to start, I just want to say thank you to the seniors for everything that they've done for myself and the team these past few years. They brought such a great team culture to the team, and they've been amazing teammates throughout it all. If I have learned one thing, and I think I could carry it on for the rest of the seasons to come and even into my own life, I would definitely say it's a saying that we've been saying since freshman year, is that we rise by lifting each other. This saying goes to show that you can never do anything alone, and that if you're surrounded by the right people and appreciate them and everything that they have to bring to the table, that's just going to set you above the rest. And I think that's definitely something we're going to look to carry into, especially like in my upcoming senior season for the team. I hope to carry on that tradition that they've left for us, and the success that we've had, I hope to carry that over as well. I definitely believe that we have a strong group of girls coming back and coming in. And I think we know what's on the table. So when we do get back, it's going to be all about where we were and picking up right where we left off. So I'm super excited for the season to come.
Same question for you, Coach. What can we expect coming next fall?
I think every team is different, and I think every season is different. So I think it's hard to know what to expect. I think the challenging part of this season was the fact that, climbing the ladder, pushing, wanting more. Once you're at the top and everyone's coming after you, it was very, very difficult because we got everybody's best game. We're losing 8 players, which is a huge part of our team. But our defense is mainly back. Jakara might be coming back because she's going for grad school. And I think that the tradition is there, the culture is there, the hard work is there. So it's just exciting to see, what we can do moving forward. And, it's not a one and done. We've built a program here at Kean, and, we've got an amazing group of young women that work really hard and that are dedicated. And so that culture is already there. And so hopefully we can continue to be successful and build off of that.
We got all the serious questions out the way. I got one more. For homecoming, the team made a video titled Kean Field Hockey and Our Problems. Whose idea was that, and how did you come up with each person's problem?
It's like little problems the team has. Like, I think mine was like dry scooping pre-workout before like I would go play or something, but they're just like stupid like personality traits that each one of us has. I don't know who actually made the idea. I know that
I want to say it was Ari. It was Ari's
Ari.
idea to make the video.
Yeah, okay.
And she was the one that actually recorded everyone, and she's like, all right, do something like funnier that makes it like kind of like go with what your problem is. And like not only are they like little personality traits, but they're also things like we kind of like tease each other about. Like Lia's, of course, is like the longest like the most amount of seasons you could ever have, and it's just like little fun things that we like kind of like get at each other. And like it was definitely really funny. And like looking back and having that video, like we posted on our Instagrams, and the amount of people, like players like Erin or anyone who has played with us within our 4 years, were like, this is the funniest thing, and like these are so accurate because like us, like when you're together every day, like the little things that like we each apply to one another. So it was definitely like something funny. Everyone did TikToks, but I think ours was pretty funny because of like you get to kind of get an inside glimpse of everybody on the team.